Okay, here goes the super, super easy pizza. And it is made out of Bisquick. I don't know if you can see that. Not a big box of Bisquick, but I learned how to make this when I was about 8 years old. My godmother taught me how to make this. And all you do is you just pour in to a bowl, depending on what size of pizza you're going to make. And it's about 2 cups. Okay, about 2 cups of Bisquick for the size that I'm going to make. And you'll get to see the size. So you'll know. You use a little more. But the thing about this is you just turn on the water and get it to warm. Get the water warm so we can get this out of the way. So you can see this part. This is the part that it's kind of hard to explain if you've never done it. So I'm just going to show you, and this is exactly how I do it. So you just grab the bowl, okay, and the water's getting pretty hot. So you're just going to take it into the water for just a couple of seconds and start just with the regular fork. I'm going to just start tossing it around. I'm going to go one more time. And you can kind of see that the dough is really kind of sticky. And one more time. So that's like 3 times under the water. And then you just mix it super fast. And it's pretty sticky, okay? But you want it to be sticky. Maybe one more time. Just a little tiny bit of water that time. Okay, so just kind of smush it around in the bowl. Then, because it is sticky, you want to add a little more Bisquick to the outside of it so that you can shape it into a bowl. So I usually just shake it in, okay? But since I'm showing you, I'm just going to show you that way you'll kind of get an idea of how much. So it's just about a good oversized tablespoon. So you're just going to sprinkle that over, and then you get another tablespoon, and you're just going to put it onto your board. Okay? So there we go. Get this out of the way. I got a little bit of water on my board, so I'm going to go ahead and just wipe that off so it doesn't make my dough sticky. Okay, so then there's the little extra that we put in there, just to give it that nice soft texture. And we can roll it onto the, or we can go ahead and put it onto the board. Okay, so now here I'm just gonna spread this out on the board. Okay, and you can do this with your hand because we're gonna get our hands in there in a second. Okay, but just to make sure, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands one more time. Just because it's really important, guys, you know, to, as you well know now, to wash your hands, but when you're cooking, it's so important to always keep washing your hands as you're going through the process. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna get a towel, a paper towel, and dry my hands off. Okay, so there we go. That out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this out. You can see, well, here, let me turn the bowl this way towards the camera so you can see it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop this out. You can see that it's very sticky, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put it into the middle of the Bisquick that I have on the board there. And turn the bowl around this way now. Get it all out. And this part, you know, it really doesn't matter what size it comes out, you know, like if it's a little bit small for the pan that you're going to use, then it's okay, because it's thick enough that you can play around with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and let some water go in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring this hook around the edges first. Okay, I'll go ahead and take that off the fork. And here's where you start to handle it. So you're just going to roll it up, just barely, on every side, because it is sticky, but you're going to keep bringing the little bit of bisque hook that you have in there, just gently, so that when you're done, your dough is soft. It's a nice fluffy consistency, but it shouldn't just all be sticking to your fingers, okay? So you just have to gently just keep rolling it around. And that's all there is to the dough, guys. I'm gonna let it sit here for a couple of minutes, making sure that none of it is gonna stick when I come back to work with it, okay? You can always add a little bit more Bisquick to it if you need to, if it's just still too sticky, and that's okay. Okay, so there you go. So we're just gonna let it sit here for a few minutes. Okay guys, so I wanted you to see just how you can pick this up. And what you do is when you're picking it up, you're just gently picking it. You're not like trying to get your hands in there so it won't get sticky again, but you can see that it's just nice and pliable, okay? So then you kind of just shape it into sort of like a flat round circle, okay? Now some people just, if you have a small pizza or just a small baking dish, you can just kind of press it in, or you can also just get a rolling pin like I'm going to do now, even though I'm going to use, I'll show you the pizza pan that I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I was going to use the stone, but I just want to try this one out because I've had it for a long time and have just never really bothered to use it, and I'm going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it out a little bit because it is kind of a large size, but I'm just going to try it out and see how it works. Okay, so here we go. Now, my rolling pin is kind of heavy, so here, let me move this sauce out of the way a little. So yeah, so my pin is kind of heavy, so I don't have to really push down, and you really don't want to push down too hard on this dough because it is on the stickier side, and so you know, you just want to keep it nice and pliable. Okay, so I'm going to actually add a little bit more biscuit to it. And it's just a handful, so I'm just going to kind of sprinkle the top a little and leave a little bit on the side there as I get ready to turn it. Okay. So see how big it gets right away. And if you get a little hole in it, no worries, just kind of press it out, okay? So now that I can see that it's going to be super pliable, and for what I'm going to do with it, just get a little bit, if you feel like you have a little sticky spot there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pizza pan and bring it over because I think it's ready. So here, just have to wash that off. And here we go. Now, I could put a little bit of oil on the bottom of this, but I'm going to try it without. Okay, so I'm just going to do it in half, lift it up, and bring it over to the pan. And then bring that half back over, and then just and just push it out, okay? Now, I used to have this one pizza pan that I used it for so many years, but I actually had two, and I gave them to my kids when they went to college. And so now I have this, and I also have that stone, but I just want to try this pan out. So that's pretty good. So now this type of dough it's gonna rise when it's in the oven, so you want to just even it out so that it's even, so you don't want it to be like raw in one part. So you just kind of have to feel it out and try to get it to where it's even, to where you feel like it's even. Okay, now this is a non-stick pan, so I don't want to ruin it by scratching it. So what I'm going to do is, it needs to have holes, so I'm just going to gently, not so that it's going to scratch the pan. Okay, and you just put these, if you make pies, you probably do this to your pie crust before you put it in the oven. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just get several little holes in it, and that's just so you just don't get this big huge bubble in the middle anywhere. Okay, so that's good. So now I'm going to rinse my hands off so that I can get to the cheese. We'll put the sauce on and put the cheese on there, and we're going right into the oven with this pizza. We'll be right back.